Hey guys, Caleb here with Steve Meyer's Service today to go over video number 3 of the 5-part tutorial series on how to properly service your Toro Timecutter. Today we're going to go over tire pressures, greasing the front tires on your Timecutter, and tracking. So first off, let's go over our tools. We're going to have our grease gun. You will need to make sure it has a flexible hose. The grease zerk is a little hard to get to on the inside of those wheels, so you want to make sure you have a flexible hose on there. Then we have our air chuck and our tire pressure gauge. So first off, I'll just talk about the tire pressures and then where the grease points are, and then I'll kind of show you a quick time-lapse video of doing the process. On the rear tires, we want to make sure that we have 12 to 13 psi in the rear tires. You don't want it to be too firm. You don't want to get up into those 15 and 20 psi ranges, just because it gives you a rough ride. If your mower doesn't have any suspension, the softness of your ride is all coming from the squishing of that tire as it goes over the bumps. So you want to have that 12 to 13 psi range, and that should give you a nice smooth ride in the back. As for the front tires, this tire pressure is going to range based on tire size. So on a 42-inch, I suggest the tire pressure to be in the 20 to 25 psi range. The reason being, the rims on these mowers, are on the 42s in particular, are a lot smaller. So if you were to happen to hit a curb or a tree root or something, you can pop the bead of the tire off, and then that will knock it off the rim and you'll have a flat tire, and then you got to do a lot of, then you got to take it in and get it repaired, refilled and whatnot. So by keeping 20 to 25 psi in that front tire, that will help eliminate the likelihood of it getting popped off the bead. As you step up into the 50-inch models, they get a wider tire and a bigger rim, and the likelihood of that is less. So you want to run that tire pressure anywhere from 15 to 17 psi in the front. So, like I said, let me do a quick time-lapse video checking the tire pressures, and as well, the grease zerks are on the front of these wheels. Let me get a flashlight on here, and right there is our grease zerk. There's one on each wheel. We got 2 front wheels. We'll want to make sure we grease both of those zerks. Now on this particular design, the wheel does not have a oil seal for the bearings. They actually use bushings on this one, so there's no oil seal. So what we're going to do on this one is we're going to grease it until we see grease come out of the opening. That is not always the case. Sometimes for all bearings, sometimes there's oil seals and that kind of thing, so you want to be careful. But in this scenario, we're going to go ahead and grease it until we see the grease come out. So, all right, let's get started. Alright guys, so now that we've done our tire pressures front and rear, and we've greased our front wheels, we're ready to move on to the tracking stage. Now for some, you may not need to track your mower. The tracking is when your mower is driving straight. At full speed, with the sticks all the way forwards, you're driving completely straight. If your tracking is off, you will notice that at full speed, you're going one way or you're going another. Now the tracking video, or I should say that the tracking tutorial, is going to be a pretty in-depth video. I've actually already made one on this, so I will add the link to that video in the comments section because I've already made one. But we'll talk about it here for a second. There are some adjustments on your mower, both here and here on each side. And what that adjustment does is it adjusts the throw of your sticks, so it limits how far each stick can go forwards, and that's what adjusts your tracking. So again, the tracking is when, if your tracking is off, you will notice that at full speed, your mower is either pulling left or it's pulling right. Like I said, I'll add that link in the comment section below. That way you can click on that if you need to adjust your tracking. Some mowers, you might be okay and you don't need to adjust it at all. But if you do, click the link. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of video number 3 in our 5-part tutorial series. Next we'll be going on to video number 4, where we're going to go over the battery, how to test it, what to do over the winter time, how to charge it, all those kinds of things. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and stay tuned.